He called Alex like the next week, and he got a text like, "Hey, it's Kobe, call me back."
What's it like having a missed phone call from Kobe, though? I know you were probably like, you missed this call. Like,
I know.
Yeah,
that's
swag
probably a
right
story in
there.
itself.
Who is that? Oh, it's just Kobe. I'll call it back. Podcast P fam, welcome back to another episode of Podcast P, a Wave Sports and Entertainment original presented by Prize Picks. We got another fire episode in store for y'all today. And of course, I can't do this without my guys, Jackie Long.
Shoo-ba-doo-ba-da-ba-boo-boo.
Little Sade action there in Dallas, Rutherford. The humble piece. I love that. What's up, fellas? How we feeling? New week.
What up?
You know,
How we doing,
bro?
Hey, I mean, I'm just excited about certain people on our show today, as you can see. You did.
Oh, you a little hint there. So this person is in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Is it the Minnesota tie?
Hey, that's all I'm saying, man. I'm just feeling good and looking good.
I
And you
love
know, my
that.
birthday passed, so I'm still celebrating.
Come on, wait. What we do for your birthday?
Not a damn thing. I'm waiting on you to get out here so we can do everything. Listen,
Okay, indubitably.
yeah,
What you want to do?
indubitably.
Talk to me now. What you want to do? What we doing?
Let's
What it
go.
look like?
Let's go do some dinner, and let's go do your favorite, some Top Golf. There we
Want
go.
to do dinner and Top Golf?
Dinner and Top Golf.
Let's
Dinner.
actually do dinner in the what is it? The lakes. Let's do dinner in the lakes. The little part 3.
I'm with it. I dig it.
The
I'm
lakes.
with it.
That's the part 3. That's
that was fun. Is that the name of the course?
the name of
Awesome.
the course?
That we went to,
I'm
yeah.
down.
We can
I'm
have
down.
a couple. You know,
I'm with it. I'm with it. Set the date. Let's do it. I'm with it.
let's do it.
I'm
Hey,
with
but
it.
real quick, fellas, I wanted to let y'all know that we brought home some hardware. 3 different selections at the Signal Awards. Most notably, we got gold for Best Sports Podcast. Give it
I already
up for
knew this.
ourselves.
I already knew this.
How did you know this?
Let's
Because
give it
we've
up
been
to
working
the viewers,
hard.
the
We've
fans.
been awesome. We've been
We're working
awesome. We want
hard,
to
and
thank
we
the
got
fans.
big fans, man. Big fans.
Facts.
Thanks to the
Awesome.
fans. It wouldn't be
Facts.
shit without the fans, you know?
Facts. Can we finally come up with a name for our supporters? Like, people, come on. We need y'all. What are we doing here?
I had a couple DMs, P. I'm going to start making a list of...
What did you like?
I haven't. I'm going to wait. Let's do one more episode, but I need to start writing them down. But I definitely had some people reaching out. So they're trying and listening, and we'll sort through them all and find something that works and discuss it between us.
Okay, because
they're
we
gonna come up
need
with
something.
good.
We need something. We too swaggy of a
you know
podcast.
what? And I'm going to say this. We're not going to keep saying next week and then the thing and then this. Next week, we going to have the name. We're not going to keep saying every show, the next one. Next week, we going to have the name and we're going to stick with it. And that's what it's going to be.
Love
Plain
that.
and simple.
I don't know if the viewers have been keeping up, but we mentioned in the first episode about us putting new stuff in our backgrounds. Have y'all been keeping up with that? Have y'all been forgetting? Have y'all been doing new stuff?
This is my problem. I got cleaners that come, bro. So my stuff is getting moved around, and you get what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
it's kind of naturally moving. So it makes it tough. You know what I mean? Like, you could find something different in my background right now just because I had cleaners over.
I change something every time.
I have too. I've put something new in my background every episode.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll see the
so
comments.
that's Easter eggs for the
We
fans.
gonna see.
But listen, guys, before we get rolling, here's what we have in store for today's episode. We have one of the best players in the W, Napheesa Collier, stopping by to join us for a great conversation. Of course, we got the infamous 3-man weave. We'll talk about JJ Redick's impressive coaching start for the Lakers and my thoughts on returning to the Los Angeles games, playing the Clippers. With that being said, we'll be right back after this break.
We wanted to take a brief break from the episode to let you know that Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. With over 5 million members across the country, it's the most fun and exciting way to get in on all the action, y'all, while you watch your favorite sports and players.
Like I say, every week I use Prize Picks literally every Sunday while I'm watching the NFL. And again, I got to keep rolling with it because it's hit every single week. I'm taking more on anything related to Bijan Robinson.
Well, you know I'm always CD Lamb. I've been kind of mad, but I've been still picking him more because they doing their thing at the end of the day. So you already know what it is.
You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. So, guys, go sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play just $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed.
Whether you think Justin Jefferson will continue to get more targets or Lamar Jackson's passing total will be a little light this week, Prize Picks has you covered on every option.
So, guys, go download the app today and use our code PODCASTP to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. So you can start football season by downloading the app today and using the code PODCASTP to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game.
Let's jump right into it. Dallas, what you got for 3-Man Weave, brother?
Appreciate it, P. This week's edition of 3-Man Weave is presented by MetaQuest. Expand your world. P, this week will be a big one for you as you make your return to Los Angeles for the first time since joining the Sixers. And it'll also be some of your first games to start the season. When you're looking ahead to that matchup against the Clippers, what are you expecting when you enter the arena?
Well, it'll be new feelings, it being a new arena that I'm entering. You know what I mean? Like there's no ties to this arena. There's ties to the organization and that fan base and people that are still in the front office, people that are still on the coaching staff, people that are in the training room. There's still going to be a lot of ties there. I mean, it as it always is, returning to familiar places, it's always going to be emotional because you spent so much time with these people and you've really learned and, you know, counted them and looked at them as family. So, I mean, it'll definitely have some emotional touch to it. And then obviously, you know, seeing the homies, seeing the guys that you played against and you've went to battles with. So, it'll be fun on that aspect to compete against those guys. Hopefully I'm healthy. I look forward to making great progress leading up to that trip. Hopefully that is the window and the time frame that I'm able to come back and play. But yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be, it's going to be dope. I've heard so much about people that have played into it and you know, I'm excited to you know, have that opportunity to play in against the wall. I'm looking forward to the wall.
There's been a lot of good reactions from it, man. A lot of players have spoken about it. So I'm interested to get your thoughts on it.
Yeah. But
are we thinking maybe a tribute video, or was that a little too much?
Shit.
Who knows?
Yeah, I've only gotten that one place. Shout out Oklahoma. I've only gotten that in one place. So the odds aren't stacked. The odds aren't on my side.
Boy. Hey.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to treat you good because you was there before it started. They're going to give you good love in that arena. Don't worry about nothing.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what their reception will be. I don't know if it'll be cheers or I've never really heard them boo people.
What's some familiar faces you excited to see from your old team?
I mean, all the guys, bro. I'm excited to see, you know, of course, my boy Y, James, you know, Big Zoo, you know, Norm, the young guys, Bones. You know, I'm excited to see all the guys, man. Seeing the coach, T. Lou, B. Shaw. Trainers, shout out Maggie, shout out Shap. Spent a lot of time with those two, though they were awesome.
Who have you been keeping up with the most since you left?
I talked to Y a couple times. You know, I've you know, because you know the relationship runs deeper than us being
so
teammates.
Mainly you and Kawhi.
Yeah. I keep tabs with Kawhi. I see how he's doing. How's the recovery going? You know, a couple comments here and there about how the team looks so far. So I'll keep in touch with Y. You know, we'll talk.
Well, that's dope. That's good to know.
Hey, I'm excited for the episode after you play the Clippers on the thoughts of the Intuit Dome, because not only are you going to experience it from a player's perspective, but it's also going to be really interesting for me and Jackie or whoever's going to the game from a fan's perspective. I think we're going to be able to give some insight. They talked about the bathrooms and the food, refreshments, whatever you want to call it. I'm excited to kind of get the entertainment side of it and all the little wrinkles that they implemented for the new stadium.
Yeah, because this will be your first game, right? This will be your first time into it.
This will be my
Intuit Dome.
Yeah. And they better not have no glitch neither. My credit card better not be charging up to other people's food and
No
shit.
glitch?
I don't be like, hey, but I don't want to kill burgers. The hell is this? They talking about I ain't steal nothing, but I took one burger out.
Okay. So moving on, JJ Redick has had an impressive start to his coaching career with the Los Angeles Lakers. As a basketball fan, personally, I love to see it. It was unbelievable, the criticism, that he was receiving. I think there was a lot of doubts, and I think JJ has over-delivered on expectations, and it's just been amazing to watch. Laker fans are super impressed with his coaching, the way he speaks to the players, the timeouts, out of bounds plays, even his post-game pressers talking about the basketballs. I can't believe we're using, new basketballs, which I do want to get your opinions on that. But what have your thoughts been on JJ's, start to the Lakers, and what were your expectations of him being a first-time coach for the franchise?
I think his start has been very impressive. I think he's like that team has bought into him and they trust him and they believe in him. And I think that's one of the biggest things, especially when you have a mega star like LeBron and Anthony Davis on your side and those guys buy into you from jump. It says a lot about his presence there. I saw one of the videos of them doing like guards versus bigs.
That was
and
sick.
He matches up with Jackson Hayes. Like that is culture right there, bro. That's team bonding and that's culture when your head coach is in the trenches and is fighting with you guys. Literally, when they matched up, they were going at it, and he gets to stop and the whole team, ignites. I love to see it. I think, again, he's awesome as a communicator. And he's a natural born leader. I think he's a Duke guy, so he's a hard worker. He's a team guy. And he knows the benefits from both of those, pillars. So I'm loving it. Funny thing is I talked with JJ before him taking that job. We were in Dallas for games 3 and 4 and we chopped it up a little bit, and me knowing that it was, at that time he wasn't signed to the Lakers, but it was around the decision time. And, I got a chance to just tell him, good luck. I'm rooting for you. And, basically putting my belief that he'll do a great job. Just the conversation we had, like I was bought in with his basketball knowledge and just the way he analyzes the game on, TV, from him going toe to toe with Stephen A on certain topics and saying like, listen, you guys haven't done this. Like he's very good at confrontation, and you need a strong coach that's built for confrontation. So he's been very impressive, and I think he's going to make for a great coach for the Lakers.
I had a talk with him too in Vegas at the podcast P party. Yeah, I told him just go in and do your thing and bring it on. And he said, okay.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's right.
LeBron,
he was at the dinner. That's right.
Come on, he was at our podcast dinner.
Yeah,
that's show right. up. I think that was right when they got announced too. I think it was like right around that time. But he was yelling at LeBron, shoot the effing ball. Like I think JJ brings the best of both worlds. He's clearly an X's and O's guys. If you know basketball and follow the way he's played, he's not successful in the NBA unless he has this up here. He doesn't have the most athleticism. He has the X's and O's, and then he also has that camaraderie, that leadership. He's been in the locker rooms. So I think that's what's making him so special, is that he can relate on so many different levels, and he's a basketball savant.
Look at you.
That word. That was crazy.
Look at you. You pulled that one right out of the air.
Hey, I swear I did. I didn't have that word prepped.
P, I just want to know, are those in-game huddles actually effective at the NBA level? Because, y'all been in the league for a while. Y'all know what to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, one thing about NBA players, like, we don't want to be sugar-coated. Especially me, I love tough love. Like, tell it exactly how it is. Tell me what you see. What assignments am I missing? What am I not doing enough of? What am I doing well and continue to keep doing? like that is your chance because the game is going on. You can't really, you can't slow the game down and take a step back and be like, oh, this is what's going on. When you're in the fight, in the thick of things, you don't necessarily like you're just reacting, right? Like you have a game plan, you have schemes, and you got to stick to these schemes and game plans. Sometimes it's not working. Sometimes the other coaches adjust. The coach got to step in and be like, hey, listen, this is what they're doing. We're going to do this. Like, and those conversations sometimes get rocky. Like they get tough. And it should. Like a point needs to be made. Not that it's intended to hurt you or embarrass you, but it's a point to be made that, listen, we got to play better. You have to play better. We have to change things. So I think it's a very underrated aspect of basketball and sports in general, period, is in-game huddles and effects of it.
Now, I'm excited about this one. Too excited, I must say. As you know, if y'all don't know, my boy LaMelo Ball is balling. And I mean, the season just started. The boy is scoring 32 points a game. I mean, damn. I mean, I know you've been watching EP, or you probably haven't. But if you have been watching EP, I got to ask you a question about my boy. What is the difference from the previous years when my boy was getting injured and all this stuff? He was doing all this whoopty wop 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 wop. But now that he's healthy, talk to me, P.
I haven't watched much of Charlotte's games, but I think more than anything, he's healthy. Like he's probably feeling the best that he's felt in a long time. And it's showing. He looks a lot more confident. It looks like he's back at playing on the playground. The court is his canvas. And that team is exciting. That team is starting to come together.
He made 9 3-pointers the other day.
He's in
Crazy.
his own. That's what happens when you're free of mind. When you're free of mind, you go out, you just hoop, and you have fun. He's a player that puts on a show. He's an entertainer from a basketball player standpoint. And he's having fun. And that team is playing well. Brandon Miller's playing well. You know what I mean?
Well, he's not playing right now, but he doing his thing.
He's playing.
Brandon's played.
Yeah, he's playing.
I don't think he played.
He didn't play the last one.
He didn't play the last game.
He didn't play the last game.
Yeah.
But he's playing.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that team is shaping up. That team, you can start to see the promise a little bit. You can see the light in the tunnel with that team, and it's starting to click. But it rides on LaMelo's shoulders. Like, can he stay healthy?
Yeah.
Is the big question.
He out there having so much fun too. Oh my God.
He looks good.
He looks good. He's just out there playing basketball. But when I watch it, P, when I look at, Brandon Miller and LaMelo, the best part about it in my eyes is that they're both young. And typically I think two young guys in the NBA that are still, they're trying to make themselves more of a household name. There can be a little bit of this sometimes, especially with two younger guys. They might not have matured quite yet. And it looks like together that there's no egos. They're swing. They're making the right plays. That's the best part of me watching this. But what do you think the ceiling for them is, man? If him and Brandon Miller keep this up?
I honestly, man, the sky is, that's too soon to say sky's the limit. Because they got a lot of stuff to work through. Like, they still need to well-round that team around those two guys. It's good to have two pillars to start from with LaMelo and Brandon Miller, but now they have to start putting those pieces around those guys. But they can be really good, bro. Like, LaMelo obviously is enough to keep that team in playoff contentions. And now you add in Brandon Miller, a big-time talent, big-time scorer, who's going to make the game easy. Both of those guys are going to make the game easy for each other. But now you got to start surrounding them with the talent. So it's a great start. But, again, comes down, can they stay healthy? And can he continue, to be locked in how he is right now?
Shit, speaking of talent, I don't know why it ain't been all over the news. You didn't know they just signed Allen Iverson? You didn't even know that.
I didn't know that. Oh, you talking about?
I'm talking about Trey Man.
Yeah,
y'all don't see him out there copying Allen Iverson, dressing like
he's doing it,
doing his whole thing. But
he do look like a little AI. But he's having a great And shout out him. Shout out Cody Martin. Shout out Miles Bridges. Those guys are playing well.
Trey Man doing his thing.
They're looking good, man. Charlotte
You
is
think
looking
that
good.
you think that's weird or dope that he, dressing like Allen Iverson, P? You think that's what did you think?
I think it's dope. I think he naturally has the AI look. And I think at this point it's like, he's playing along with it. But there is definitely some comparisons to him, for sure. There's definitely some comparisons to AI.
He got game. I've been watching him too.
Yeah, he can hoop.
He got that short man complex. He be out there giving.
He's so fast and shifty.
He's a good for like watching them. He's a good like backup for LaMelo all day.
Mm-hmm.
All day. Perfect one too. I know he has some other ones coming in, but Trey Man, I don't know. I've been waiting to watch him, and I'm glad I finally get to really watch him now. And I didn't know he was this special. He got some game.
Yeah, he can hoop. He can hoop. That Charlotte team, you might been on something, Bunky. You've been LaMelo. You might be on to something here.
You've been consistent.
I'm just going. Hey, I'm just saying, my brother. Hey, but just to speak on LaMelo real fast. Do y'all see my man's interviews after the game?
Oh, they're gold.
Who?
They're gold. LaMelo's
LaMelo,
post-game interviews, bro.
Dude,
Have you seen any of them?
Oh,
I haven't seen them. Fill me in.
Oh, man.
One of them, he just stopped before they answered the interview. He was like, "Oh, hold on. Shout out to my dad, his birthday, on them, everything. You already know what it is."
They're clipped all over Twitter, P, basically saying like zero PR training. Like some of the stuff, it's funny. He just doesn't care.
Yeah.
He's just, whatever he wants to say, he's going to
whatever
say.
he want to say, he always cuss and like say fuck or something while he's doing it. But I can understand he needs like a little bit of training, but I wouldn't want him to change. Because that's who LaMelo Ball is. And
that's who he is.
It's not like he said a whole bunch of crazy things. It's just letting you know he's having fun and he's actually thinking of real stuff. Like it ain't no fake something that somebody just said. He's really saying this stuff like he means it. So I love watching him when he do his interviews, man.
Yeah. Right.
Hey, last thing.
That's funny.
We see the Dodger blue. And I know you went to the World Series, Game 3. What was that experience like, man?
It was dope, dog. It was dope. Obviously Yankees didn't have much to root for because, them Dodgers was whooping that ass. But it was dope. And it was literally where Freddie Freeman hit his first home run in Game 3.
Okay.
It was literally like right towards us. So it was there you go. Dodgers, baby, Jackie Robb. It was crazy, bro. Meek Mill was in the suite. Sabrina Ionescu was in the suite. A Boogie was in the suite. CC Sabathia, Ryan Howard, Jimmy Rollins. It was just a bunch of celebrities and stars in there. It was cool to kind of just socialize and politic with those guys. And watch a good game, man. I can mark that on my list of a bucket list. Like I've been to a World Series game in one of the most iconic stadiums in the world.
That's big.
It's awesome.
Well, you better have him go to your last one.
El Alfa. Shout out El Alfa. El Alfa was next to us. He was in there chilling. It was dope, man. It was a good vibe in there.
It probably would have been even more dope if they would have won. Probably would have got a different experience.
Oh, I know.
Like,
the few plays that did happen, like that building, that stadium just went crazy on the few plays that did happen. So I can only imagine if they was like on point and Yankees was killing, like I can only imagine how loud.
You don't think so, Dallas?
It's quiet for the Yankees, bro.
No, I'm saying if they would have won that game that he went to.
They're already defeated. They're defeated because they should have won that first game. And I just think the life got just.
Aaron Judd is not an October guy. He just not. I'm sorry to say it.
Don't talk about the homie.
Hey, I love him, but he's not an October guy.
He's not playing well.
He's not playing well right now, man. That's all I'm saying.
He's struggling. As is, it's a tough moment. As Ohtani, he's struggling as well. Like it's not easy. That shit is not easy. That pressure is
Boy, Freddie though.
I tell you, Otani not missing no. Otani not missing no games.
Freddie's a
though.
legend, bro. We got to get Freddie on the pod, bro.
We got to
Yes,
get
we
Freddie
do.
on
What
the
is that
pod.
like to hit
We
a
got to get Freddie,
walk-off
and we got to get
home
Mookie.
run?
If he don't get MVP, I'm done watching baseball. I'm telling you
He's gonna
now.
get it.
He better get it.
Oh, I
They say
love
he the
that.
coldest, man.
Love that, fellas. Go Dodgers. Hey, fellas, that was another great three-man weave in the books. That was dope. We'll be right back after this break, joined by Napheesa Collier. We're back for another week with our friends at MetaQuest and a MetaQuest mixed reality headset.
We're only a couple weeks into the season, but Peace talked a lot about the importance of mental health in keeping him at the top of his game, especially things that help him stay calm and focused like meditation. So this week, he's been testing out a new MetaQuest experience from Allo Yoga called Allo Moves XR.
Allo Moves is a virtual sanctuary that blends your space with immersive and inspiring environments. You can practice with top instructors in yoga, Pilates, and mindfulness wherever you are.
Guys, what were your thoughts on the experience?
I thought it was awesome. I love the relaxation and the meditation aspect of it. Like it was really dope.
I honestly like the personal trainer that's right there in your face. She right there. She
Oh, you
talking
had a girl?
to you. I had a girl. I even looked at her feet. I said, damn, this is real. She had her nails done. She was telling me, get your mat. I got my mat. She had me doing some, like all this type of stuff. I was doing, it was dope. I was dope. I was like, look, come here. I almost asked for a phone number, but I knew she wasn't going to talk back.
So now you feel 40.
I feel 40 because it's honestly been helping me out with my sciatica.
There you go. So head to meta.com/quest to check out Allo Moves XR and see everything else that's possible on MetaQuest. Welcome back to Podcast P. I previewed this at the top of the show. Anytime you can get one of the best players in the W on the pod, it's only right. She's an amazing player, but even better person. Please welcome the four-time All-Star, Defensive Player of the Year, and an NCAA champion, Napheesa Collier. What up, girl? How you doing?
I like that jersey. I didn't see that before, Jackie.
Come on.
Hey, he
You know
representing.
I gotta represent because
Yeah.
you's a straight
That's a throwback
baller.
one.
You know, I've been with y'all for a long time. I've been with Minnesota Lynx for a long time.
I
I'm
can
just
tell by
saying.
that jersey.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Hey, I like that, Bunky. Hey, he always surprises us with some good shit.
Look at this.
I like
though.
that.
Jersey.
Show y'all the front.
Nice.
Jackie Long, come on.
Okay.
Is 81 is the year you was born?
Shut up. Shut up.
Jackie, how long have you had that?
Don't worry about it.
Since
Don't-
81.
Since
Yeah,
81. You know, since me and Napheesa been rocking this. That's all. That's how we do.
Okay.
You know.
There.
Okay. Where you at these days? Where you at, Napheesa? Where's home?
I'm in Minnesota.
You're still in Minnesota. Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be my first winter here, so I'm scared.
Ooh. It's gonna be brutal. Yeah, that's gonna be brutal.
Gonna say I'll be in Miami starting January for Unrivaled, so it won't be too bad.
There we go. That's a good little change right there. Change of pace, change of weather.
Beach.
All right, let's jump into it. I know it's been difficult to digest after game 5 of the finals, but when you look back at the foul call that ultimately changed the course of that game, you feel like y'all were robbed?
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, for sure. I thought the officiating was terrible. I mean, I think that's the consensus for everyone. I mean, on here and get fined, of course, but I mean, yeah, it was really tough. You know, it was a really hard game for us. And it never comes down to one call, of course. But, you know, obviously, in my opinion, I thought that was really egregious. The travel before that, the foul call at the end, the entire game was really bad. It didn't come down to that. It was bad the entire game. But at the end of the day, we shouldn't let it get to where the refs have to decide. And I do, you know, credit the Liberty. It was an amazing series. I think this series will go down in history. It was great basketball to watch, to be a part of. And they're an amazing team. So, like, kudos to them for winning. But obviously, it sucks to be on the other side.
Yeah. I thought the series was amazing. To your point, you always can go back and say like, oh, this one particular play was the reason we lost. But over really a series, over a whole course of a game, like, you know, you do think about the small things that you guys could have done better. It is tough. I do think now with this new thing that they're implementing in the NBA where like you can challenge the foul. And if that foul, like they can catch that it was a travel, before the foul call. Like they
so you can review more than just like the foul.
They're reviewing more. Yeah.
Okay. That's nice.
That's nice. And it's changed the game in the NBA. We've had like multiple instances already early in our season where like someone's got a foul and it's been reversed, and instead of it being a foul, it was another call. And it's happened like multiple times. And it's like, damn, this is a game changer.
That's a double-edged sword, but yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is. Cause like you could, like the ball could be off on the other team, right?
Yeah.
But then you challenge it and then the ref's like, oh no, you fouled him. Yeah. And so instead of like getting the ball back, you're giving the other team 2 free throws.
Yeah. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. That's ugly.
Is there any other solution? Because I've talked about it watching some of P's games, but I mean, it just seems like in basketball, refereeing is just, I mean, I complain about the refs in my church league, but at the level that both of you guys are at, what can they do more? It just seems like this is the best of the best in basketball, women's and men's. How come they can't get I get maybe a body contact play, a big bang bang at the rim, but like traveling, like it just seems like there's a lot of calls that there's something that they could implement to get these calls right.
Yeah. Well, you know what's crazy is we have scouting reports for teams. We would have scouting reports for refs. Like this person calls more travels, this person calls more offensive fouls. I think I'm complaining. I don't know about you guys in the NBA, but we have always complained about consistency. So it's not the fouls that you're calling. It's that it wasn't a foul earlier in the same game. So like the fact that we have scattering reports on refs, like this person has tendencies to do this. Why is it not uniform across the refereeing? Like, what are you guys looking for?
Yeah.
That is supposed to be a foul. I don't care. Like we play a really physical game. I prefer that actually, but it has to be the same on both. Like I just wanted the same throughout the game. If you're going to call call touch fouls the whole game. If you're going to call like not call anything, do that the whole game. I think it's the inconsistency that's really hard and not the actual calls that they're making.
Right.
I got the best advice, man. The best advice. They should just let y'all call your own fouls.
Oh, I think that's
that's the worst decision.
They should let y'all.
That'll be a 5-hour game.
All these challenges and all this stuff, that's gonna make
Jackie's
the game,
for sure that dude at LA Fitness, like not checking the ball up on the other side of the court. It's not a foul.
Just tell y'all, call your own fouls. If it was a punk foul, then it's like that's when the ref come in. Nah, you know that was a punk foul. Keep playing.
Come on, play on. That's funny. That's funny. I don't think anybody's getting far with that rule right there, Bunky.
Not at all.
We do want to highlight how incredible the postseason run you had after shifting focus midseason and then now chasing gold medal in Paris during the Olympics this summer. How would you describe that entire experience? Like that's a lot to unpack. Like you're in season mode and you're going against rivals. You're going against, other teams, other players. Like you're positioning for seeding. Then you have to jump out of that to team up to go win a gold medal, build relationships there, and then you have to jump right back into competitive ball and face against some that you have just won a gold medal with. How was that experience and like kind of how do you navigate through that?
Yeah. So I think like in terms of switching gears from the W to the Olympics, really just like focusing on what's happening. Because also, like the selection is pretty late. Like we get maybe a month before we go. So you can't really be thinking about like, I don't even know if I'm on the team yet. So you're really focused on like the W as it's going on. And then as it gets closer, like, of course you try to focus still on the season, but you're thinking about the Olympics a little bit, but really just trying to stay in the moment is what I try to do. Like not looking too far ahead. And then our league is pretty close. We don't have that many people. It's 144 people. And a lot of us have gone overseas for many years. So you're already kind of used to playing on teams with people that you're not within the W. Of course, like a lot of turnover within our league. So we kind of have that closeness where when we come together for USA, it's not weird because, yes, we're competing during our regular season, but a lot of us are pretty close friends. It's the same people you're seeing over and over again. So like it was fun to play with the other best players in the world. So yeah, I thought it was really fun. It was like an amazing experience. My first Olympics was in Tokyo. It was during COVID, so it was lockdown. So to have like the true Olympic experience, which I think is even better because the crowds were absolutely insane. We played in front of 27,000 people in our games.
Oh my! Oh,
it's wild. It was such an incredible experience. And my family, my husband's family were there. So like having that with them is just like memories I'll never forget.
Yeah. I tell people all the time, like that Olympic, like it's so much different playing over there in other countries.
Mm-hmm.
You're literally playing against another country. Like everyone is rooting against you. Like your back is literally against the wall. It's only you guys there. Like it's a fun environment for sure.
Yeah.
A lot is happening. A lot is going on. Like that was one of the best experiences of my life.
Yeah.
Playing in 2016 in Rio. It was just.
I heard Rio was fun.
Oh my God, it was amazing. It was. You know, it kind of sucked because we were kind of sheltered away, and we were like staying on a boat. Yeah, so we couldn't really experience too much. But you know, for women basketball, men's USA basketball, for us to be like close knit and stay together, and like that was fun. You know, I got to really know a lot of the women on the WNBA side, and kind of grew close relationships from there. But it was a cool experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Napheesa, in the Phoenix series, you played unbelievable. You had 2 games, game 1 and 2, I believe it was, where you had 38 and 42. But for the fans watching at home, can you just kind of give us some insight on what that playoff zone is like? It's one thing having a good game in the regular season, but when everything's on the line, you're in those playoffs and you respond the way that you did. Walk us through what that feels like to have 2 games like that in the playoffs.
Yeah, it was so fun. I mean, we had such a high seed. This is the highest seed that I've had in the W. So to have those 2 home games was huge. I think it's the first time I've ever had home court advantage the first round. So knowing we had 2 games at home, like playing in front of our fans who are great, it was just really, really fun. And I just try to play with the mindset where exactly like you said, like this is not the regular season anymore. You have to step it up a level because it's the playoffs. Everyone's fighting for their lives. So just going out there and doing that, just really taking what the defense was giving me. That was like a great way, I thought, to start the playoffs.
P, would you rather have a good playoff? I mean, I know you want both, but talk about like a good game at home versus a good game on the road, because it's got to be two different feelings.
Yeah, I honestly prefer and like playing on the road a lot more than playing at home.
Me too.
Yeah, it's just, I like that environment, like going against the opposing team in their space, quiet in that crowd. It's like a different level of being locked in because you're on the road, you're with your team and only your team. This is like y'all time to really be together. When you're at home, you go home, you're kind of away from each other. When you're on the road, you're hanging out, you're kicking it. Like, we know what the mission is. We know what the job is. Like, we're all in this together and we hang out, off the court before we even get on the court. So it's a different experience. And then you go there and again, it's every possession, like, you understand matters. Like, you have to play well on the road. And I think it's just a level that, like, you rise to the occasion for.
Yeah, I think that too. I think like at home, it's almost like a safety net. Like, all the fans are there for you. People, whether you have a good game or not. When you're on the road, it's like a high pressure situation where you want to go out there and like silence the crowd, like you said, and make them be in awe of like what you and your team can do. It just feels so much better when you do it on someone else's court.
I gotta ask, because like that the 38 performance, the 42 performance, were those nights where you just, is that the moment where the game comes to you, or was that the moment where it's like, hey, we're not losing tonight? Like, what Napheesa was that?
I think the first game was the game coming to me. Like, I just happened to get a lot of points really early. I'm like, I'm feeling real good. And then the second game was definitely like, I have to go out there and take this because there was like a quote that came out that said I was trying to end Diana's career.
Oh my.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know, but if it is, like, I hope it ends because I don't want to go. I meant because I didn't want to go to Phoenix to play, but then of course that quote was everywhere. So I'm like, well, now I have to stand on business, and we have to
stand on.
So I had to go out there and like definitely take the game and be more aggressive even than I was before because I'm like, we definitely can't lose now.
Yeah, that was that you put on a show that game. Wow.
Thank you.
P in Dallas. I need y'all to clap with me right now. Clap with me.
Lord.
I want y'all to congratulate Napheesa for Defensive Player of the Year.
Okay, let's give her a better round of applause.
That's big dog. That's something different. So, Napheesa, we had Pete tell us how, how it is, of course, being a defensive player in the NBA, because he always, for some reason, want to make himself all like he the best player in the NBA, want to guard the best players and everything, which I love about him. But, just like you, his focal point is mainly offense. Now, Napheesa, I need you to explain to me, what is that two-way grind like playing defense and offense?
I think it's what you said. It's a grind. The offense, sometimes you feel good, sometimes you don't. I think defense is like 100% effort and mental. You have to be really locked in. It's about, working hard. And so you can always do that. So that's the mindset that I always come into is like, sometimes you're going to have an off game on offense, but defense is something I can control, especially if I'm not performing the way I need to on offense. Like I can get a rebound, I can get a stop. Stuff like that. So I think just taking it one possession at a time, because it is a grind. It is super exhausting. So not thinking of the game as a whole, like I kind of set little goals for myself, and that helps me.
What's some of the goals, if you don't mind sharing?
I want to get like 10 rebounds a game. So I'm like, I need to get, if I could get 3 a quarter, then I'm even better. Like I'm better than 10. So I try to reach for 3, and then sometimes you get less, sometimes you get more. So I always reach for 3 a quarter rebounds.
I've noted that. I'm going to note that. You say you like to get 10 rebounds a game. Noted. For certain reasons, you know it.
Is there a quick follow-up question? Because I know in the NBA, and correct me if I'm wrong, that there's actually like contract like incentive by deflection, steals, and things of that nature. Do they have that in the WNBA as well?
No, not for deflections. If you're like a steal, if you have to be number 1 in the category. So if you lead in steals, lead in blocks, and then it's like first team all W, first team defense, you get stuff for that. I wish it was deflection, because I am the deflection leader. We keep track on our team.
Okay.
Yeah. I wish it was a goal.
They need to incorporate that.
They do.
I got a question for you and P. Just because y'all both like the same players, like I've been saying. But what's an underrated aspect of both of y'all offense and defense? You can go, let Napheesa go first.
Underrated for my offense? I think the way that I move without the ball. Like, I think everyone knows about my mid-range game, but I think I get a lot of points and, really good offense just from moving, from cutting and making the defense follow me around. So I feel like that's underrated. And then I think deflections on defense, because it's a stat that we keep track of, I don't think people realize how many deflections I get. So I would say that's underrated.
Okay. What about you, Pink?
For myself, I would say the versatility on offense and defense. I think that's the underrated part of my game. Offensively, like I feel like I can be an ISO guy. I can be a point guard. I could be a pin down guy. I could be a post up guy. Like I feel like I can give and do a lot of things, and I'm comfortable in those areas. So definitely versatility offensively. And I think versatility defensively, like being able to guard multiple positions, guarding point guards, shooting guards, small forwards, power forwards, small centers, like being able to rebound at a high level from the guard spot. I think it allows me to kind of be, in a lot of different coverages and, switches and just, throw a lot of junk into the game. So I think versatility on both ends is probably like the most underrated part of my game.
I like what both of y'all said.
So I'm a father, right? And I can't express how much fatherhood has changed me in the NBA. How would you say motherhood has changed you both as a person and a player in the W?
I would say as a person and a player, I think it's just really put life into perspective. I've never really been one where basketball is my whole life. I like to do a lot of different things. I kind of shut down watching sports in the off season, like for a while. But I think for a long time, it was still the most important thing in my life. But now that I have my daughter, she's obviously the most important thing. So it's like, whether we win or lose at the end of the day, like her smiling and running up to me and calling my name just makes everything better. I think we saw that like multiple times, even after like we talked about how gut wrenching like our last game was. But my daughter was on the bus with us the next day, and like everyone was just talking about how much like she lifted their spirits. I think it just shows you like there's more important things in the game, even though it is such a huge part of our lives. And I think that's just made me like a better basketball player, because I'm not living and dying about, if I had a bad game. I can really kind of like take a step back and see that, like I said, there's more important things to me now. What about you?
It's, it's to your point, right? You can be in a tough game, tough environment. You can lose a tough one. You can play horrible. And like you go home and your kids don't care. Like you're still super dad or you're super mom. Like you're still this bigger person to them, right? And it immediately takes you out of that like mindset of like feeling like crap. Like, oh, I'm like, this is what it's about. You know what I mean? And so it's awesome. You know, it's really awesome. Like I have 3 little ones, 2 girls. My youngest is a boy. And you know, it's they all play a different role. They all have different personalities. So like I feel like I can love them and play with them differently because they're all like different characters. You know what I mean? So it's a joy. It's honestly a joy. Like they literally take your mind off of any negativity.
Yeah.
Napheesa, can you give a little bit more insight? You said that, she was on the bus, and obviously being a mom, a mother is a lot different than being a father, and different parental roles and things of that nature. But like, does she travel with you every, like, on the road? Like, what is that like being a mom while in the WNBA? Because, I'm sure we would all agree that's a full-time job in itself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This year she didn't because she's 2 now. And so like toddlerhood, as you know, you have 3, is like not for the weak. And we really need schedules, and she's in daycare. So it's like, it'd be too much traveling and like getting her out of her routines and stuff. So she stayed she stayed in Minneapolis for most of the games. She traveled in the playoffs. That was the only time she traveled this year.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really hard to be like away from her. And of course, like when I have to leave, she's like so sad and clinging to me. Like it breaks my heart every time.
Mm-hmm.
But I have like such a great family support system. My mom was with me the first summer I had my daughter when I came back when she was 6 weeks old. Then my dad has been with us the last 2 summers because my
nice.
husband travels a lot for work. So I just have like such a great support system where I'm just lucky enough to have a community like of people around me who can help this child, because I wouldn't be able to do it without them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely hard, but it's worth it. And to see her grow up around this environment, like seeing her interact with my teammates and how like social she is because she's around all these new people, it's such an experience, and it's exactly what I wanted, is for my child to grow up around. Like,
is she Napheesa Collier too? Is she out there balling? She picking up a basketball yet? Is she out there?
Is athletic. I know every parent is proud about like their kids, but she's athletic.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. Is the terrible twos hidden, or is she just getting into it? Is she phasing out of it?
No.
That terrible twos is real.
Yeah. They hit about 1 and 2 months.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Smart. Like she has a lot of personality. It's really fun.
That's awesome. Let's move it along to the UConn connection. I know becoming a Minnesota Lynx legend in your own right and another UConn alum is considered the GOAT. How would you describe your relationship with Maya Moore?
It's really cool because we're from the same hometown. And then she moved out like...
Oh, really?
We're from the same hometown. And then she moved right before, like, she's a couple years older than me, so I would never be in school with her at the same time. So like I just missed her at our hometown, then I just missed her in college, then I just missed her on the Lynx. But I feel like I'm like right behind her and everywhere that we go. But it's really cool to have someone like that from somewhere that you are from, just to look up to. Like we didn't have, especially women's sports was not on TV like it is now. So to have someone that you can kind of follow along like that was awesome. And of course she turned out to be like one of the greatest players ever. So just having a role model like that was so cool. And of course I wish I could have gotten to play with her, but it's cool to see the impact that she leaves everywhere that I go, because I can hear personal stories about her from people and just like how she was. And so that's pretty cool.
Y'all probably will won 10 championships.
Oh my God.
Play with her. Oh my God.
When did that
convince her to come back, but
she probably could still give
a
lot.
I know.
When did that relationship like start? When was the first time you met Maya Moore?
When I was in middle school. I went to school with her cousin, and so I knew her aunt really well. And so she connected us because I played basketball. She's like, my, niece is like this great basketball player. She connected us when I was really young. So I have pictures of her from like middle school, high school,
Oh, okay.
Like, fun. Yeah.
You was the big girl on campus. Like, hey, Maya Moore, the big homie.
I got personal connection. I know her aunt. So.
Yeah, okay. That's the real connection right there. What has been the best advice that she shared with you from a basketball standpoint to like for you to take with you on your journey?
I actually don't even know if I've talked to her about basketball before.
That's a deeper relationship and connection.
Yeah, she's such a deep person. Like stuff that she talks about is not really basketball related. You know, she stopped playing to like pursue social justice. I don't think I've even ever talked to her about basketball, but just like again from anecdotal stuff, from like listening to other people talk about her. I think she was just her work ethic was like so unmatched, and her confidence. I think like her confidence in herself. If you could bottle that, you would be so rich because she just believed in herself always. And you can see in the way she played, like she was one of the best for a reason. And I think sports is so mental. Like you have to believe in yourself. And so like just watching her and some of the shots that she would take and make, like just seeing that I think is so inspiring.
Napheesa, I had read that you had a unique relationship with Kobe and Gigi prior to their passing, but he highlighted your post work on his ESPN series Detailed. Can you share with us and the fans a little bit of backstory on how that came about and the connection that you two shared?
Yeah, so Gigi was a huge fan of UConn. So that's like where I first met them. And then my husband Alex used to be an NBA trainer. So we'd be in LA all the time because all the guys go out there to train. And I was out there one summer and I'm just like, hey, Kobe, I'm in LA. If Gigi ever wants to work out, like, let me know. And he messaged back, for sure, why don't you come out next week and work out with the girls? And the workout I did turned out to just be me working out and all the girls watching. And he called Alex like the next week and Alex didn't answer. And he got a text like, hey, it's Kobe, call me back. He called me back. He's like, yo, I absolutely loved your workout. Like, I love what you're doing. Can you train the girls? And so we went back to LA. He was training the girls like 3 times a week. So we'd be there all the time. And so, yeah, it just kind of formed through that. Like, it was so cool just picking his brain. So my junior year, I'm sure you saw the shot of Enrique making that like game winner. It was over me, like in the semis. And then she went even crazier one in the finals. So even that one, he was breaking it down, like what he would think in that moment. He's like, okay, you have to know the shot clock and like you have to count down in your head because she can't go to the basket after a certain number of seconds. So you're counting down 5, 4, and then you got to press up on her and make sure she has to drive so she can't take that shot. Just stuff like that. Like the way that he saw the game, the stuff that he would think of in real time, like being able to pick his brain like that was amazing. And then of course, being around him every week, like multiple times a day, you just saw like what an amazing person he was. He was just someone who made you feel so special all the time. He'd remember everybody's names. He would remember details about conversations you had. Just make you feel like the most special person ever. Like such a great dad, such a great coach.
What's it like having a missed phone call from Kobe, though? I know you were probably like, you missed this call. Like,
I know.
That's probably a story in itself.
He's like, this real.
Who is that? Oh, it's just Cole. I'll call it back.
714.
Like when I get the time, I'll return the call.
No, I love that you shared that about Kobe because it's I mean, I'm sure it's well documented and everybody knows how beautiful his brain is and how great it works. But like his detail, and I love that he came up with that segment of him dissecting the game and calling it detailed. I shared, and I've talked about this story, or I've shared moments where he's kind of detailed and broke down stuff for me. And it's like, bro, I wasn't even thinking about that. Like the fact that your brain sees the game this way and like you can literally like how does your mind work that you're like, for me, it's like, all right, if he's in front of me, I'm going to go this way. And if he cuts me off, I'm a counter.
Yeah.
Simple. But he's reading like, all right, so like if he cuts you off, look for the guy behind him. He may be pulling over. Like that means that guy might be rotating up. Like it was just so much going on in this text that he sent me that it was like, wow.
Yeah.
How do you have time to see all of this? It's only a possession is 24 seconds in the NBA. How do you have time to see all of this per possession?
Yeah. It's incredible.
It was nuts. It was nuts.
Truly.
Well, Napheesa, I want to talk about how you shared this beautiful story about when you played one-on-one with a young Gigi Bryant. I mean, oh my God, not too many people to do that. So I just want to know, with her being at a young age, you already seen and knew that she had that mama mentality. So I want you to tell me, what is the one thing you remember from that one-on-one basketball game?
It's crazy because like she really was just like him. Like their mannerisms were the same. Like the way that she approached the game was so similar to him. And this workout was in December, like right before their accident. Like it was like right before Christmas. So I think the time I saw them. and we were playing 1-on-1 at the PA in New York. And Kobe was like, "Don't go easy on her, like make her for it." And she was just like fearless. She was in 7th grade at the time. So what are you like? Can't remember.
12.
Yeah, 12.
Yeah.
Like it was just she was like fearless, trying to go against me, not scared about getting blocked, like doing her moves, taking her Kobe fadeaway, like over the shoulders mid post move, guarding me as hard as she could. Like she was in it. She wanted to win that game. She not think that she was going to lose that game. Like she had truly that Mamba mentality. It was just like something you can't teach. Like you got that from your dad. It was like really cool. It's something I had never seen from a kid that young. Something at our age. Like she just had that thing that like makes you a killer in sports, makes you a killer in life. So it was just like it was pretty cool to see.
I like that video of her playing her dad 1-on-1 too.
Yeah.
That one where she
and she was going hard then.
She was going hard. So I can only imagine what she was doing with you. That girl definitely looking like she had mama mentality.
Yeah,
it's crazy. I mean, because she would be wrapping up high school soon, right? She would be on her way. Wow.
She'd be heading to UConn.
Yeah, very, very much so she would have been. You witnessed up close Diana Taurasi's final Olympic run. How would you describe witnessing that moment for her with, her longevity in basketball from WNBA Olympic run, you seeing that up close? Was that like an inspiring for someone to have that type of journey in the W?
Yeah, it really was, because like to be so good for so long, I think that's what she was always a special player. She was always considered one of the greatest in our game to ever play. But to also do that and still play so well for 20 years, that I think is different. Like that is something not a lot of people can do, especially because I was just talking about how many games we have. I'm like, I'm tired, She's 20 years. Like that is something different. So to see that, like her 6th Olympics, just absolutely insane. And she's just so fun. I don't even know have you guys talked to Dee before? She's like a kid. She's like a huge kid.
Yeah.
Such personality. Like she's always the life of the party. But so smart in the way that she sees the game. Like she didn't play a lot in this Olympics, but the coaching style, like what she was telling us and like how she was helping us get better at the game, it was just really cool to see. That I got to be here for, her last run.
I know like one of the most underrated things about the Olympic and being teammates with, some of the best players in the world is like, you get to see up close how they train, how they prepare, how they get ready, what they eat, how seriously they take their bodies. What was something that like watching DT up close, like something that stood out that like, oh, maybe I want to incorporate this now into what I do?
I think how much she took care of her body. Like you see the work that goes in before practice even starts, like stretching stuff with the trainers, like stuff she's doing after practice, before practice, just to make sure that her body is good. And the way I think she became vegan. Like she said, that changed her whole game. Like the way that she was able to take care of her body, you can't play for that long and not do it. So I think just all the work that goes into that, it's another full-time job.
Yeah, she's amazing. She's 101. I think she is statue worthy in Phoenix.
For sure.
It's gotta be, right?
Beyond.
And UConn, yeah.
Beyond.
How because I've heard a lot of stories just about her trash talking. Like how serious is DT's trash talking?
It's it's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
It's pretty good.
But again, she's a big kid. Like in our series against Phoenix this year, it was so funny. We had a player, she's like our strongest player. And DT always, I think she does it on purpose. I think she does that it's like Jordan, like I took that personally. Like she finds that thing to take personally. Yeah. So she's trying to rile up one of our players, and DC's like, "You want to go?" And our player's like, "Yeah." And DC's like, "Ah!" Like, she's just like so funny. I can't even. Yeah, but she'll hurt your for sure.
Yeah. I do want to talk about this unrivaled league that you have going. You and Breanna Stewart connection goes obviously back way further than we all know of. And not only did you have a hard-fought battle with her in the WNBA finals, but you two are making history with Unrivaled, which is a 3-on-3 basketball league that you two founded. Can you shed a little light on like how this story begin, or the origin behind this league?
Yeah, so I talked a little bit earlier about how players go overseas. So a lot of players for a long time, they would play in the W for 6 months. They would get 10 days off. They go overseas for 6 months, 10 days off, and start the cycle over.
Mm-hmm.
You saw like so much fatigue, so many like really bad injuries happening because players were getting 20 days off in a year.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to go overseas to do that. So like having to go overseas to make money was one thing. Like you're missing holidays with your family. And we make most of our money off the court, like through branding.
Mm-hmm.
That's how W players make the majority of their money. When you're overseas, you go dark. Like you can't activate with brands. You can't grow your following. And then also like women's sports is exploding right now. And it felt like everyone was monetizing off of it except for the product, like the
players,
people
right,
who are, playing. And so kind of through all that, we came up with Unrivaled, where the premise is like the 30 best players in the world playing in Miami. It's going to be super heavy content based, so you can still grow your brand. You can still, people go overseas to get better too. It's hard to take, 6 months off. So you can still get better at your game. And then also every player has equity. So growing women's wealth. And then also we offer the highest average salary in women's sports. So like paying players accordingly, giving them equity to grow their wealth, still playing to get better while also growing the brand. So it kind of just filled all those gaps that you see through naturally playing. Like you see the holes in things. And so I feel like this just fills all those holes.
While also staying home in the U.S.
Yeah.
So we talking money?
We
talking money right now? So we talking money then. I got to be real nosy with you right now then. And I need all these details because I'm nosy. Okay, because I read, and you mentioned this, that Caitlin Clark should be one of the top paid players right now because of what she's doing with the numbers that she bringing to everything. And you said 75,000 isn't enough in the WNBA, if I'm right. So, with all that said, since we talking money, what is Unrivaled being, willing to offer her to join?
Now you're trying to get me in trouble. No.
Just little numbers.
I can't give numbers, obviously, but I mean, I can tell you substantially more than what she's making in the WNBA. I do think she needs to be paid fairly, and we would be offering her a fair compensation for what she's doing. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah, I pay her a lot.
Stop being a little too nosy, Bunky.
No,
a little too nosy.
I would have to say, I just can't.
See, she said she would ask the same question because like this. Look, I mean, she can get them, and who else wanted her? Ice Cube, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
Come on, man.
Ice Cube did want her. You do have a big name in Angel Reese who have decided to join Unrivaled. Can you talk about the impact she's had on the W and why was it important to get her locked into this league?
Yeah, I thought she had a huge impact on the W, not only just from like the fans that she brought over this rookie class, just the fans that they brought over as a whole is insane. But she broke a lot of records of people who have been in the leagues, let alone like for a rookie. So just seeing new talent come into the league is really, really fun. I think, sorry, what was the second part of your question? What's she going to bring to Unrivaled?
Just about her, like the importance of her being locked into Unrivaled.
Oh yeah, I think it's really important. We have a fair number of rookies coming in this year. So I think it's great for them to get that exposure because, another reason people go overseas is to get better. So rookies especially do need to play in the off season because you have to make that big jump from college to the pros. So for her to be able to do that around the 30 best players, it's like a concentrated W. Like it's all the best people. So to be able to play with and against them every day is going to get you better. So I think it's going to be great for her game, just growing her skill set. And then just introducing new rookies into the league. We really want to bridge the gap between like the youth and women's basketball as professionals. So having rookies in, I think, really helps that too.
This would be good then, Pete, because and when as soon as they get out of college, they got only 3 days and they in the league. They starting the game.
They starting the game.
They start their first 3-game game.
That's
so
true. It comes at them fast. Yeah.
Shit.
It is. It does go pretty fast.
Real.
I love having Angel Reese though. Like, just how I feel like iconic she's been for the game of basketball for women. I think that's a big power move to have her a part of this as well. Because say what you want, she's drawing attention, whether people want to be critics or people want to be praised and enjoy what she's bringing to the W. Like, I think that's awesome to have her jump on board.
Yeah, for sure.
Napheesa, as of this taping, there's actually been 7 WNBA coaches fired. And I want to know your thoughts on what do you feel the disconnect is between the organization and player coaches?
Yeah, that's been wild. Like they're dropping like flies. I don't know. I mean, I've been in an organization that we've had the same coach for so long, and like I've been really lucky because she's a great coach. I don't know like what the disconnect is with the team, honestly. I think there needs to be like a better vetting process, maybe, of people who like we're giving these jobs to. But I don't know. It's hard for me to talk about it because I don't really live that experience. So I don't really know what's going on. But it has also been crazy for me and like for everybody else to watch this too.
We talked about a little bit about, the young talent and the experience of being an unrivaled. But when we look at the future of basketball with Juju Watkins coming to join the W in a couple of years and Paige Becker's coming in a couple of years, what do you envision the future of the WNBA looking like with the 2 that I've mentioned and more that are starting to shape women's college basketball? What do you think the future of basketball looks like in the W with these names raising the game and coming to your game?
Yeah, I think it's so bright. Like, just even the 2 that you mentioned are so fun to watch. Like, just really great talents. So bringing that obviously is just going to improve the product more and more. And then also, like, again, it was such an explosion this year of like a cult following of these new rookies. And those 2 specifically have the same thing. So bringing more eyes and even more viewership to the W, growing the game in that way. But I think both of them are generational talents, honestly. So the talent that they're going to bring to the W is going to be super fun to watch.
Mm-hmm. And then just to piggyback off that, as vets, yourself being a vet, how do you guys intend to improve relationships with like the incoming rookies and continue to elevate the game with the experiences you guys can share with the up and coming classes coming into the WNBA?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know how people do it on other teams, but we really try to like integrate our rookies into everything. So like I'm inviting them. I think forming that connection off the court is really important, especially for rookies. It's so new and it's hard. Like you're coming from the top of the totem pole to the bottom once again, And so that transition is really hard. Like Jackie mentioned, it's like a week after their college season is over. So I think just trying to get them involved is what we do. And that forms like a really good connection with the rookies. But as far as that people are always picking on the rookies, and that was a huge narrative for us this year. Everybody always picks on rookies. They're freshmen.
Mm-hmm.
Like it wasn't them personally that we're attacking. It's the rookies. Like they don't know your moves yet. They don't know the nuances of the game. Like, of course, you try to get the easy stuff on them. So I think just naturally, as part of like natural selection, people are going to try to go after rookies. But I think that's fun too. It's like Candace Parker. When I was a rookie, they told me Candace is going to pretend she throws over your head. Do not turn around because she gets people every single year on that. So I think it's just like part of the game. But I think on a team level, really connecting off the court is important to for individual teams to like bring their rookies into the fold.
What's I'm mad I don't even know her name. What's the rookie on your team that's from Hawaii?
Alyssa Peelish from Alaska.
Alaska, yeah. She's dope. What did you do? Did you make her do some crazy things this year?
I don't think we did any rookie stuff with her. We don't really do it anymore, honestly. Before I got there, they used to make them dress up for the airports in like old women clothes and stuff like that. But we don't really do that anymore. We're nice to our rookies.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
Do you guys do the old before the huddle and you run out to the court, you guys like have the rookie go first and then you let them run on the court by themselves? They look back and the whole team is in the tunnel still.
No, but I like that. Maybe we'll do that for next year. I like that.
Yeah. They actually did that. I think my rookie year, myself, Lance, we go run out on the court. We turn around and like the whole team is like in the tunnel just cracking up, and you feel so stupid.
Yeah. That's a good.
That's good.
Next year. Watch, I'm going to do that next year.
Throw that in there.
Napheesa, this is one of our new segments. It's called Chat PGT. And in this segment, we're going to quiz you and P on your respective careers and see who gets the correct answer, you or Chat GPT. So the first question, and we'll let you go first, is who is the greatest UConn women's player of all time?
Oh, that's just an opinion, huh?
Yeah.
The greatest of all time. I feel like it's based on what you like. Oh, I feel like Stewie's the best at UConn because she won 4. But as a collective career, I would have to say Diana or Maya.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, P, who you got?
I gotta go DT.
Okay.
I gotta. And everybody is, respectfully, can take the crown on this one. But I don't know. I feel like DT is just, especially she's still going.
Yeah.
So Chat GPT's answer, the title of the greatest UConn women's basketball player is often debated, but Maya Moore frequently tops the list. Her career at UConn was outstanding with 2 NCAA championships and an overall record of 150-4, 2-time National Player of the Year, and her leadership helped cement UConn's dominance in women's college basketball.
Oh, they did it for UConn, not total. I'm surprised it's not Stewie because she won 4 championships.
Hey, this is Chat GPT. You're going to have to bring it up with them.
AI can be wrong. AI can be wrong.
Chat
Yeah.
GPT, I love it.
So this is a good one. Who is Napheesa's NBA player comp? Who would you compare yourself to in the NBA?
This is on Chat GPT.
This is hilarious.
Yep, this is Chat GPT.
I feel like, or someone I hope this is a comp, but someone I try to model my game after is KD. I feel like we're both super long, like versatile. Okay. So
Okay.
That's
fair. Hey,
that is fair. That's very fair.
KD, okay.
I want to say like AD. I want to say like AD. I think you affect the game in so many ways, from offense to defense, from blocking shots to steals to, rebounding to scoring. I think when AD came into the league, it was like, the new beginning of like bigs that could be at his size and skill set, but run the floor like a wing and a guard. So I'm going to say AD.
Okay.
Chat GPT's answer. Napheesa NBA comparison is often to players like Draymond Green or Jimmy Butler for her versatility, two-way skills, and strong basketball IQ. Hey, this is AI. We gotta that one was tough. All right, Napheesa.
That's real tough.
The next question is, who is Paul George's WNBA player comp?
That's a good one. Ooh. I feel like I have more time to marinate over mine.
How about I go first?
Okay, yeah, you go first.
I'll give her time. Her time. I'm gonna say Ryan Howard.
Oh.
I'm gonna say Ryan Howard. Okay. She's a big guard, and I just love how she plays. She plays like she has a smoothness about her. Again, being at that size, being able to handle, score, and it just looks so fluid. It looks effortless a lot of times when she scores and she's on the floor. So, she has that smoothness that I think people kind of generally put that name on to me. Like she definitely has that smoothness.
Yeah, that's a good one. I was gonna say kind of similar to Ryan. I was gonna say Ka because like she's for her offensive game, super smooth and is able to create in a lot of different ways and like can score from multiple levels.
Okay. I'll take that. I like that.
So the answer, Chat GPT's answer, was Paul George's WNBA player comparison is often Elena Delle Donne due to their similar combination of height, versatility, shooting touch, and defensive skills.
That's a good one, honestly.
I like that one.
Yeah, that's honestly
that one was good.
Yeah.
The next one is, if Maya Moore and Napheesa played together for their entire WNBA career, how many championships would they win together?
How many seasons are we playing? That's how many championships.
Okay, man, that's
I would say
that's a lot.
I would say we would get at least 5.
At least 5. That's fair. If not more, like you. Is this? Because this is a dynasty we're talking about here. Like them two together is a dynasty.
Okay.
So is this a three-peat and then a three-peat and then a 2 after?
Well,
I'm gonna say 6. No, 7. They gonna beat MJ and Pippen.
Damn, it's a lot of players coming in the league though, P.
We talking about Nia. We talking about Maya and Napheesa. What are you talking about?
Okay.
Chat
That's
GPT,
savvy.
if Maya and Napheesa had played together for their entire WNBA careers, they could have been a dynasty-level duo with the potential to win multiple championships. With their combined talent and competitiveness, they could realistically have won anywhere from 3 to 5 championships over a sustained partnership.
So she said it. She said it.
She said it. She
She
called
said
it.
5. She
That was
said
good.
5.
That was good.
She
She
definitely
went with
did
the
that.
over. Hey, well, there you have it, Napheesa. We want to thank you so much for joining Podcast P. I know everybody is going to enjoy this episode when they see it. We had a blast. It was great rapping with you. We're sorry about the unfortunate Game 5 call, but your future is very, very bright, and we will continue to support you. So appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you guys. It was fun.
Thank you so much.
All right, welcome back to Podcast P. Fellas, this has been a great pod so far, but Bunky, what you got for us in the 2-minute report?
All right, P, for this week's 2-minute report, we got a couple of things to talk about that I noticed on the web, and I got questions, okay? But first up, my peep Joel and B got assessed a technical for waving a towel. And our boy Tyrese Halliburton was snitching. He the one that found him out there. Wait, he over there, look at it, throwing a towel. And I just want to know, is that the strangest technical you witnessed someone get in your career? I didn't even know that was a thing, that the players couldn't wave a towel.
It was crazy. I think they gave him a tech after the fact. Like, I think he got the technical today.
Yeah. Yeah.
Today?
Yeah, he got the technical today.
It wasn't
which doesn't
during the
mean
game.
shit for the game, but he got the technical today.
So what, the players got to come back out and shoot 2 free throws or something?
I don't know how this works. I don't know when we play Indy, like they start the game off with a technical foul. Like, I don't know how this works.
I didn't even know this was a thing. P, that's y'all as players can't wave a towel?
I guess not. You
didn't even know that seemed like.
It's a distraction, I guess, to the players. Like, that was an interesting one. I've never seen something like that before. That was crazy.
That was too crazy for me. But my second question is, Rudy Gay recently retired from the NBA, which he had an incredible 18-year NBA career. But P, what's your favorite Rudy Gay story, my man?
Shout out Rudy Gay. Shout out an amazing career. Shout out, his longevity and how good he was in his peak and prime. Rudy was a monster. Should have been a multi-year all-star player if it wasn't for him being in the West and how tough that was from a wing perspective to make it as an all-star. He had the numbers, he had the game for it, just bad timing and situation on that end. But my early stories with Rudy, man, was when I first became a Nike athlete in the NBA. I went on tour with him over in China. Actually him, Bron, a couple skateboard guys, LaDainian Tomlinson. But, being around Rudy and, that was, like he really took me under his wing. We had a workout over there. And, that was a cool moment for me to see somebody at his size be able to handle and move the way he was doing, jump the way he jumped. Like, he was so athletic. He was so strong and powerful. And he was just a cool, like, good dude, man. He's every time I see him now, it's nothing but love. I actually just saw him in Fresno for Quincy Pondexter's. He puts on this charity game back in Fresno. So I got to see Rudy down there and chop it up with him. And it was about time for Rudy to hang it up. He looked old. He looked old out there. He looked like he was an uncle. Rudy looked like he was an uncle out there.
Hey, shout out Rudy Gay for being one of the all-time best 2K players that you could ever pick up. One of the most underrated 2K players. Unbelievable, Rudy. Thank you for your good times on 2K, man.
Him, Gerald Green.
Man, sleepers.
Sleep.
Orlando Johnson. Orlando Johnson was a sleeper, like 2017 or something like that, when he was with us on the Pacers.
Johnson. Yep.
He was a sleeper. I love OJ on the squad. I knew his shot so well. Sleeper. Shout out Rudy, man.
Shout out to Rudy. I'm laughing, y'all, because I didn't know they was giving KC from the group Jodeci a statue in Miami, but everybody keeps saying it's Dwayne Wade.
Bro, what is up with that?
Everybody killing Dwayne Wade statue right now, P?
Is that one of the memes?
Oh, man.
Was that one of the memes?
He's getting a ton of people, bro.
Like Casey from Jodeci singing. I said, what in the hell is DP? I need you to go ahead and rate the statue, man, and don't be scared. Don't be scared because you know D Wade. Be honest on the statue, because I'll tell you what my opinion is.
Yeah, I mean, my opinion is my opinion, right? Like, I think, first of all, I think it's very tough to capture expressions through a statue. Like, it's tough it's tough, like, to have.
Can I stop you for 1 second? They got a million pictures they can pick. Come on, from basketball.
I do, but when you realize what that signifies, that moment of him doing this was from when they played against Chicago and he jumps on the scorer's table and he says, "This is my house." Like, that's what that statue symbolizes, right? So I love that they captured that moment and they have made that into a statue that, like, this is D Wade's city, this is D Wade's house. So I love that part of it. But I do think it doesn't look like D Wade, if I'm being truthfully honest. It doesn't look like D Wade.
There we go.
You was honest.
It doesn't look like D Wade. Okay. But I love his damage control about the situation of, like, listen. Yes. And he's 100% right. Like, we don't know what it's like, what goes on making a statue. Like, he that's something I want. I wish someone fucked up my statue.
What's making it worse though? What's making it worse is they showing him at the process of getting it done. Like, yeah, that's right. That looked good. Yep,
did they?
On there.
Yeah.
You know,
little B-roll.
So it's showing all
but
that.
As people, when was the last time, like, we was like, oh, that statue looks great? Like, everybody has something to say about someone getting a statue. About
Allen Iverson statue, remember? I didn't know.
Said something like, why it gotta be so small? Like, why?
Yeah,
like,
but
when was the last time? Who?
Shaq's?
Yeah.
Shaq's was good. Shaq's was good.
Kobe's is amazing. Jordan's is amazing. Magic Johnson's is amazing. Jerry West's is amazing. Shit, it's a lot.
Chick Hearn.
Even Wayne Gretzky's is even amazing.
Wayne Gretzky, Chick Hearn's. Chick Hearn's is good.
It's a lot, man. But at the end of the day, guess what? They all got statues. So all that's telling us.
They can't tell us. They can't tell us shit.
Can't tell us shit. I need one for my city, and P, you need one for one of these cities for the team.
Can't tell me nothing. I need one in Palmdale.
I don't care how they look, how bad they look, how attractive they look. They got a statue.
And I need one in Palmdale. Like, soon as you enter the city, it needs to be a statue.
With the hair, they should have that hairline that you had when you first had the little baby hairline.
Come on.
Yep, that should be it. The statue
Come on.
right there.
Come on.
Make
Talk
sure
to
they
me.
have shoes on. Make sure.
I give it. If I had to give it a rating, I would say I'm gonna go with a 6. I'm gonna go with a 6.
I'm just gonna give you the same thing with that. I say a 6 too.
I'm gonna go with a 6.
I just think they should have gave it a little bit more time. You know, not to say
But we don't know what goes into it.
Yeah, we don't know.
They rushed it, Bunky.
Because I know what they're looking for. They're looking for that meaning of something that they did. Like with Kobe's, we know what everything means. Jordan's, his really doesn't mean nothing. We just know he was in a dunk contest, and that's a dunk he did. But it's not.
It's iconic. That's Jordan's signature look.
But I'm just saying, as far as like the Kobe's and everybody else's, you know, Wayne was doing his thing, but it could have been, he could have got his jump shot on there with the ball dunking or something. They could at least had that move when LeBron is at the bottom and he in the air doing the dunk. That famous picture.
But you're missing.
They should have had that.
P.
I disagree. P hit it on the money. It is his most iconic moment, and they did capture the moment. It just doesn't look like him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the
just doesn't look like him. P, wrap us up, bro.
All right, well, there you have it. It's safe to say, hopefully D Wade gets a new statue. Hey, we want to shout out Napheesa for coming on to the show. She was an awesome guest. She really blessed us with her amazing presence. Appreciate y'all, man. Y'all rocked out. This has been another great episode. Hey, appreciate y'all for viewing it. Peace.